Mohammed Salah insists Liverpool are not favorites for Premier League title as he names team with really good chance of dethroning Arne Slot's side. Mohammed Salah has surprisingly claimed that Liverpool are not the favorites for the 2025-26 Premier League title. Despite the Reds securing a dramatic 4-2 win over Bournemouth in their opener, Salah has admitted that one of their main rivals has a really good chance of beating them to the trophy. What happened? For Arsenal, who haven't claimed the Premier League title since their invincible season in 2004, this year marks another critical push for the coveted crown. The club has made significant investments in the transfer market, spending close to £200 million, $270 million, to strengthen the squad. With the arrival of Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal now have the final piece of the puzzle, adding firepower to a squad that finished second in last season's title race. What Salah said. During an interview at the Professional Footballers Association (PFA) Awards on Tuesday night, Salah told presenter Cecil Thomas, who is an Arsenal supporter, "I think you have a great team this season as you did last season. So, you have really good chance. I think you are the favorite now because you players who have been together for 5 years. I can't say I'll wish you luck. Hopefully we do it again." The bigger picture. At the PFA Awards, Salah was crowned the PFA Players Player of the Year for a third time, becoming the first man in Premier League history to win the award on 3 separate occasions. The 33-year-old forward, who amassed a staggering 29 goals and 18 assists last season, was recognized for one of the greatest individual campaigns the league has witnessed. His consistency, influence, and ability to deliver in decisive moments once again set him apart from his peers. This latest accolade not only underlines Salah's enduring brilliance, but also cements his legacy among the all-time greats of English football. To maintain such a high level of performance deep into his career is a testament to his professionalism, fitness, and relentless hunger for success. It also reflects the respect he commands from fellow professionals, who continue to vote for him ahead of other world-class stars. For Liverpool, Salah's achievement highlights the pivotal role he has played in their recent successes, from Premier League and Champions League triumphs to countless memorable nights at Anfield. Beyond the statistics, it is his leadership on the pitch and his ability to inspire both teammates and fans that make his contributions invaluable. As he lifts the award for a third time, the bigger picture is clear. Mohammed Salah is not just a record-breaking forward, but a player whose legacy will resonate for generations to come. What next? Despite Salah's confidence in Arsenal's ability, Liverpool are ready to build on their strong start. After securing 3 points against Bournemouth, Arne Slot's side will travel to St. James' Park to face Newcastle United on Monday. Another key match will come the following weekend, when Liverpool return home to face Arsenal at Anfield. This early season clash could have a significant bearing on the title race, with both clubs desperate to make a statement. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Man City finally launched Gianluigi Donnarumma transfer talks after Pep Guardiola hint. Gianluigi Donnarumma's future continues to hang in the balance, with Manchester City among the clubs interested in bringing the Paris Saint-Germain star to England. Manchester City have opened talks with Paris Saint-Germain over a move for Gianluigi Donnarumma. Italy goalkeeper Donnarumma is tipped to leave Paris this summer following the arrival of Lucas Chevalier, with Pep Guardiola's side among the potential buyers. City have already signed one goalkeeper this summer, with James Trafford rejoining the club after a spell at Burnley. Stefan Ortega is expected to leave the Etihad Stadium, but last season's first-choice Ederson could also depart to make way for a Donnarumma swoop. Ederson was left out of City's squad for the Premier League opener at Wolves on Saturday, with Trafford starting and Ortega on the bench. Guardiola said the Brazilian missed out through illness, but reports of a Galatasaray switch are gathering pace. According to Football Italia, there is still work to be done on the Donnarumma fee. City are said to be unwilling to meet PSG's asking price of around £40 million, but the prospect of getting the keeper's high wages off the bill could convince the French club to lower their demands. Similarly, City are believed to be at odds with Galatasaray when it comes to the valuation of Ederson. The Turkish side value the Brazilian at £10 million or less, but the Premier League side are holding out for more despite him being in the final year of his contract. Donnarumma has been with PSG since 2021, when he joined on a free from AC Milan, and helped the League One champions win last season's Champions League. He was left out of the recent Super Cup squad, though, with manager Luis Enrique explaining the situation. "I can only say good things about Gio Donnarumma," the boss told reporters. "He's one of the best players in his position, without a doubt, and he's even better as a person, but we were looking for a different profile of goalkeeper." Guardiola declined to answer when asked on Saturday if Ederson had played his final game for the club. Instead, he attempted to focus on Trafford's performance after the 22-year-old made a long-awaited debut for the club. "I'm so happy for James. For the fact that he is an academy player and he is a City fan and made his debut in the Premier League here," Guardiola told BBC Radio 5 Live after the 4-0 win at Molineux. "He played really good, and I'm really pleased. I like when the young players in the academy can play for Man City. It's really, really good. These moments are special because they show that the hard work put in over the years by the player, his family, and the academy staff really pays off. It also sends a message to the rest of the youngsters in the system that opportunities are there if they stay focused and continue to improve." Meanwhile, transfer speculation continues to circle around Ederson's future at Manchester City. If Galatasaray do end up signing the Brazilian goalkeeper, it would see him reunited with former City winger Leroy Sane. The German international, who was a fan favorite during his time at the Etihad, joined Galatasaray on a free transfer from Bayern Munich earlier in the summer. Such a reunion would not only provide Sane with a familiar face in the dressing room, but also give Galatasaray a player in Ederson who brings world-class experience, composure, and leadership between the posts. For City, losing Ederson would be a significant change, given the vital role he has played in Pep Guardiola's system, especially with his distribution and calmness under pressure. However, the club's philosophy of renewal and trust in their structure suggests they would be ready with plans to adapt. For Galatasaray, it would mark another bold step in building a squad capable of competing not only in the Turkish Super League, but also in Europe. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Eberechi Eze transfer news. Arsenal agrees £67.5 million deal to sign Crystal Palace forward after hijacking Tottenham move. Arsenal agreed deal to sign Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace after hijacking Tottenham Hotspur's move. Spurs felt they had an agreement in place with the club and the player on Wednesday before their North London rivals reignited their interest and swooped in. Arsenal have agreed a £67.5 million deal to sign Eberechi Eze after hijacking Tottenham Hotspur's move for the Crystal Palace forward. The Gunners will pay a guaranteed £60 million plus £7.5 million in add-ons for the forward, with personal terms now close to being totally agreed. Eze's release clause, worth £60 million plus £8 million in add-ons, expired before the Premier League season started. Understands that he is still expected to be in the squad for Crystal Palace's Conference League game on Thursday and wants to say his goodbyes to the fans. Eze's Arsenal medical could take place as soon as Friday. Spurs felt they had an agreement in place with Palace and Eze on Wednesday before their North London rivals reignited their interest and swooped in following an injury to Kai Havertz. Eze was one of a number of players Arsenal looked into in the first few weeks of the window, where, significantly, a lot of the work was carried out in June when they explored the conditions of a deal. Since then, their focus has been on other positions and player departures. Eberechi Eze will be free to represent Arsenal in the league phase of the Champions League this season, even if he plays for Crystal Palace in their Conference League qualifier on Thursday. Current UEFA regulations allow players to represent more than one club per season in their competitions. However, certain conditions must be met. Palace take on Norwegian side Fredrikstad in a Conference League playoff qualifying round tie on Thursday night. If a player appears in a playoff or qualifying round in any of UEFA's top 3 competitions, they can represent a different side from the league phase of another European competition. Spurs were considering offering Richarlison in a deal for Eze. That would have freed up striker space for them to try and sign Jon Wissa, who played under Thomas Frank at Brentford. Wissa still wants to join Newcastle, who had a second bid rejected on Wednesday. The 27-year-old, who started in Palace's draw at Chelsea on Sunday, has 2 years left on his contract at Selhurst Park. How battle for Eze unfolded. Arsenal have a long-standing interest in Eze, who was previously on the books of their academy and has said he was a supporter of the club growing up. They explored a potential deal earlier in the window, but chose not to pursue a deal at that stage as they prioritized strengthening other areas of the squad and agreeing new contracts with existing players. Spurs then came in for ease after Morgan Gibbs-White chose to sign a new contract at Nottingham Forest, and they lost James Maddison to an ACL injury. Talks were held between Tottenham and Palace, and Spurs felt they had an agreement in place on Wednesday with club and the player. However, Arsenal then came in to hijack the deal in a major twist on Wednesday evening. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Arsenal sent clear Alexander Isak transfer instruction after Kai Havertz's injury. The Gunners are on the lookout for a replacement after Kai Havertz picked up an injury. Arsenal could make a late play to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle after Kai Havertz suffered a knee injury that could see him set for a lengthy spell on the sidelines. The Gunners held open training on Wednesday in front of supporters, and Havertz was missing, with The Athletic reporting later that the German had picked up a knee injury in a huge blow to Mikel Arteta. Arsenal have already brought in £63.7 million man Victor Gyökeres to help solve their striker crisis, but an injury to Havertz will leave Arteta light in the forward department once more. The plan at the Emirates Stadium was to focus on outgoing transfers before committing to potentially one more big signing before the window closed, but the injury to Havertz has changed matters. Sporting director Andrea Berta will now look to the market to bring in a replacement. At the start of the window, it was a case of Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko, who eventually ended up at Manchester United and played against the Gunners on Sunday in the opening game of the new Premier League season. But the dream signing was always seen to be Alexander Isak at Newcastle United. The Swede was, however, seen as off-limits due to the Magpies' disinterest in selling and the £150 million price tag on his shoulders. However, things have dramatically changed on the Isak front in recent weeks, with Liverpool seeing a £110 million bid knocked back after Isak refused to return to training with Newcastle in order to try and force through a move. Isak released a statement on Instagram on Tuesday night saying, "I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interests of everyone, not just myself." Isak is desperate to leave St. James Park, and the feeling is that Liverpool will return with another bid to try and snap him up. But given Arsenal's previous interest and their need to reinforce now, could the Gunners move to hijack that potential deal? Is the money there to get another big money transfer through the door? If Arsenal did have the money to spend and could hijack Liverpool's move for Isak, it would represent a huge coup. And the Gunners have been told exactly how to do it, too. Sky Sports reporter Keith Downey said, "If some magic happened in the window and Newcastle managed to find a top-level replacement from somewhere for Isak and they brought in Wissa, then my understanding is Isak would be allowed to go if Liverpool upped their bid. I think it would need to be another £25 million on top of that, £110m plus add-ons, for Newcastle to sit up and listen." Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Man United handed Carlos Baleba transfer boost as talks advance over sale. The latest Manchester United transfer news and views as they continue to work on proposed deals. Manchester United's hopes of strengthening further in the summer transfer window are being severely restricted by a lack of sales at Old Trafford. United have yet to sell any of their one-away stars this summer, with Marcus Rashford the most notable departure, leaving on loan to join Barcelona. Rashford's exit to the Catalan capital is thought to save United around £12 million in wages, but it's sales that will move the dial with PSRs, profit and sustainability rules. United's performance in defeat to Arsenal on Sunday was encouraging. Ruben Amorim's side looked a much more cohesive unit, despite beginning a crucial campaign with another loss. And yet, no one at M16 is under any illusion that more signings are not needed to strengthen a squad that has let down a succession of different managers over the years. Midfield and goalkeeper are the obvious areas which may need to be looked at. It's why there has been so much excitement around a potential pursuit of Brighton and Hove Albion's Carlos Baleba, a player who is developing into one of the Premier League's finest midfielders at a rapid rate. The sticking point for United is the player's reported £100 million plus price tag. Brighton also appear adamant that their young star is not for sale, making any summer move extremely unlikely at this stage. But sales will boost the club's PSR position and offer a glimmer of hope that Baleba could yet end up in Manchester before the summer window closes on September 1st. Fabrizio Romano has claimed that talks are advancing over Alejandro Garnacho's potential move to Chelsea. The Argentine leaving on a permanent deal would provide United with a significant PSR boost due to the wide man's homegrown status, meaning his sale would represent pure profit. Elsewhere, striker Rasmus Højlund has been perhaps mostly strongly linked with a move away over recent weeks. The Dane has fallen out of favor under Amorim, after Benjamin Sesko rocked up at Old Trafford for a big money fee from RB Leipzig. Clubs from Italy have been most heavily linked, although a surprise switch to Fulham has also been mooted. That may now be complicated amid reports from the Mirror that Rodrigo Muniz's Craven Cottage exit has fallen through. The possible summer sales of Garnacho and Højlund would be a welcome relief for everyone at M16. The focus would still likely be on selling the club's remaining one-away assets, Jadon Sancho, Antony, and Tyrell Malacia. But there may yet be an opportunity to test Brighton's resolve on Baleba before the summer window closes. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe.